In this video, we're doing the Codex Brain Coordinates mission to progress the story, and hopefully we'll also be able to skulljack a Codex. We have a similar squad to last time, but we've swapped out some soldiers. We have our original Reaper with tactical rigging for scouting ahead. A Ranger for the flanking crits. We have our top-ranking Grenadier because we need hail of bullets, and because she has a bond with our specialist. We're bringing her once again for medical protocol, in case someone gets poisoned by a Chrysalid. Our usual Spark for overdrive shooting. And our top-ranking Sharpshooter for maximum damage. In terms of upgrades, the biggest one is that we've given a superior scope to our Grenadier. So now she's going to have slightly higher chances for chain shot and standard shots. And then we've also given a superior expanded magazine to our Sharpshooter. We're not planning to use the sniper rifle much, but she's been due for an upgrade, and this will give us more flexibility with things like long watch. Finally, we've also put an advanced hair trigger on our Reaper, just in case they can occasionally proc this while taking finishing shots or detonating a claymore. For equipment, the most out-of-place change here is that we've put battle scanners on our Reaper. We want them for revealing buried Chrysalids and they don't break concealment. So our Reaper can still use them when it's not safe to move without having to rely on our Spark to tank the hit. We also have the Skulljack on our Specialist so that we can hopefully skulljack a Codex. This is another story objective we need to do, and there's no time limit on this mission. After that, we then have the usual Talon rounds and blue screen rounds on our frontline units, and our Specialist is also carrying the Mimic Beacon for distractions.
Target coordinates are just ahead. Move to investigate the site. Hostile presence is currently unknown, but expect the worst.
They won't see us if we stay quiet.
The main goal of this mission is to reach a central target location and kill all of the enemies. I believe it's in this direction, but it's very hard to tell. We'll head this way for now, until we know where we're going. We should be safe to move for the first turn, because the Chrysalids won't be buried yet.
Moving out.
Commander, that Codex provides the ideal opportunity to infiltrate the Advent network. We will need to move in with the Skulljack to initiate the process.
Our first pod is a Codex and 2 sectoids, which is ideal for a Skulljack. Our Specialist can't reach it yet, but we'll bring the squad up and prepare for next turn.
On the move. Roger that. Let's do this.
I positioned our Spark too close, but they don't count as exposed, so the pod shouldn't take any shots. As mentioned previously, there are a lot of buried Chrysalids on this mission, so we'll have to be cautious as we approach the objective. There are 6 in total, with 2 on the approach, 3 around the objective, and 1 right on top of it. Before we do anything, I just go straight in for the Skulljack. This is a bit risky because there could be other pods nearby. I should have scouted with our Reaper first.
Moving to access. Piece of cake.
Commander, I believe we are seeing something entirely new. An alien species that has so far managed to elude capture or observation by resistance forces. I strongly advise a cautious approach.
Just like when you skulljack the officer to get a codex, skulljacking a codex spawns a weakened avatar. Avatars are the endgame enemy and have several dangerous psi abilities. We want to use our grenadier first, but the sectoids can flank us from a lot of positions. We'll just have to go here for now and deal with the one that's behind us later.
No problem, boss.
We're going to start with hail of bullets here to guarantee the hit and also hollow target it. And just like with Planewalker, they can teleport after every hit. Our ranger should be able to go in with run and gun and finish this with a crit.
Hunt him down. Will do.
We have a 105% chance to crit, so this is a guaranteed kill. She also procced her hair trigger, which doesn't let her do much after run and gun. It's not really worth using overdrive for this, it's just 2 sectoids. We'll just go for a flank shot instead.
On approach. Hostile target eradicated.
We'll use our sharpshooter to weaken the sectoid, and then just take our Reaper in to finish it off.
I'm trusting you.
Reloaded. On overwatch.
We could hear a mech walking around, but we haven't seen it yet. We do still have to be mindful about where these Chryssalids are, and I can't quite remember where the closest set of them were. I believe they're down here, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll move our spark first, just to be safe.
Advancing.
It seems safe, so we'll bring the rest of our group over towards our spark.
Folk says I am to obey.
I reload and overwatch with our grenadier, since she's already quite close. This is a mistake, and you'll see why soon.
Running. Overwatch. Let's move already. I've been troops.
We activated the heavy mech, an Andromedan and a purifier.
Targeting diagnostic required.
Our spark only cleared the left side, but our specialist was just far enough to the right to trigger this pod. We'll have to use overdrive. Both our grenadier and ranger are out of actions now. We could use the Shredstorm cannon here, but they've spread out just enough that we can only hit one of them. Instead, we'll just take shots and try for a hair trigger. Our sharpshooter can only grapple to this position, and then she can't see the Andromedan. We'll move down here, as the Andromedan's more important. We have a guaranteed kill on the mech, but we still need to do more damage to the Andromedan. We know we can kill the mech, so we'll try to weaken this purifier as well.
Targeting sensor malfunction.
We can't do much damage to the purifier, so we'll just have to use lightning hands on the Andromedan and then go for face-off.
Target neutralized.
If we can hit it with our Reaper, then it'll be down to melee, so we'll use Sting here to guarantee we stay in concealment.
The time is now!
Now is as good a time as any for the Mimic Beacon. Purifiers actually do nothing to Mimic Beacons, since all their damage comes from burning effects. Our sharpshooter should be able to deal with this shell all on her own.
Kill confirmed.
Begin reload sequence. No life signs present.
I need to reload!
We'll take a turn to reload the rest of our squad. This is an important lesson in not overwatching your units too early. While we did get the hit with our Grenadier, we might have had a better option if she wasn't on Overwatch. It's usually best to move all your units first, and then Overwatch.
Overwatch. Come get some!
We need to be careful of all this acid, but it looks like it's clearing up now. We'll throw our first battle scanner in this clearing, and see if there are any buried Chryssalids around. We got no reveals at all, which is a bit of a waste of a battle scanner. At least we know it's safe to move our squad up.
At your service. I will comply.
Let's move already. Closing on target position now. Here I come. I'm going.
Sensors at
Moving to
maximum
Overwatch.
range.
Affirmative. Covering now.
We'll hang on to our other battle scanner for the Chryssalids we know are around the objective. We'll scout with our Spark until then.
Proceeding to target.
As I guessed earlier, the Chryssalids are down in the valley, so we won't trigger them until we get close to the cliff face.
Let's do this. Tired of waiting around. Moving to position. I can handle that.
I am on the move.
This is the objective area, so we're going to start encountering them soon.
Moving to Overwatch.
Overwatch. I won't let them best. Long-range activity detected.
We'll use our Spark for the first couple of Chryssalids, and then we'll throw the battle scanner around the front of the objective to reveal the 4 that we know are there.
Moving.
Because of the spark's natural 15 defense, it's also only a 60% chance to hit. We'll bring our grenadier in for the first shot. Then we'll use Silent Killer to finish it off. It's important that we don't go past our spark, because we don't know where the rest of the Chrysalids are. He also procced his hair trigger, though it's not useful now.
No one will cross.
Finally! Let's do this! Moving to designated position.
Scanning forward.
We'll sweep our spark across the front of the objective to draw out any Chrysalids before we go down.
Taking hostile weapons fire.
Don't slow me down. I love it!
That should just leave the 4 Chrysalids on and around the objective. We'll regroup so we're ready to go down next turn.
Position confirmed.
Optical sensors on overwatch.
Moving as ordered.
On overwatch.
Watching comes that.
Got it covered!
Now we'll use our battle scanner to try and reveal as many of them as we can. I'm overestimating how close we need to throw it though. We only revealed 2 of them, but we know there's 4 around there. It's not safe to send our Reaper down, so we'll use our spark again to get eyes on. We have to be careful how close we get to the objective though.
Servos engaged.
And we triggered another buried Chrysalid. That means there's only 1 left.
Absorption at maximum.
Since we're not moving, we'll reload our grenadier before taking the shot.
You're nothing to me.
We could take our sharpshooter down for the pistol shot, but we may as well just stay here and shoot it with the rifle.
Got him!
We'll wait another turn and then go in again with our spark.
Let's do this! Here I come! Affirmative, covering now!
Everyone's got a good amount of ammo and hail of bullets is off cooldown. Now we can approach the objective. Ideally we'd keep our spark for overdrive, but we still have 1 buried Chrysalid to deal with.
Affirmative.
I'm not sure what we were expecting to find out here, but this definitely...
It's not the same rift the Codex used when it appeared. This thing could lead anywhere. It may not even be pointing at Earth.
As with most things, we'll likely need to bring it back to the ship for further examination.
They're underneath us!
Plate damage detected.
This is meant to be your formal introduction to the gatekeepers, but because we took so long, we've actually fought several of them now. Like always, we're going to start with hail of bullets for the guaranteed damage, shredding, and hollow targeting.
Went off the armor!
This is the last major enemy on this mission, so we may as well use the Shredstorm cannon, and we can also hit the Chryssalid back there. We got ridiculously lucky though, there was another pod back there, so we actually ended up killing 4 Chrysalids. We'll use our sharpshooter to finish off the gatekeeper. Then our spark is free to shred this Chryssalid, and we can finish it with someone else. They procced their hair trigger, but we'll just finish it with our sharpshooter.
Hostile neutralized.
Status confirmed. All hostile contacts in the AO have been eliminated. The gateway is secure. Status confirmed. Commander, we've secured the psionic gateway, and recovery teams are en route to the site. Now it's up to Tygan and Shen to figure out what this thing does.
The things to take away from this mission are firstly, that mimic beacons are an important resource that will get you out of many bad situations. In this case, I didn't do a good job scouting with our spark, and I put some of our units on overwatch before everyone had moved. You just have to make the most of a bad situation and know when to use your beacon. Fortunately, we still had overdrive and our blue screen gunslinger. Next, when it comes to buried Chrysalids, it really is a game of knowing your resources. Using battle scanners to reveal the buried Chrysalids you know about, sending your spark into tank hits you can't avoid, as they can take several and won't get poisoned, and then scouting as normal where you can. And finally, with the Shredstorm cannon, I kind of suspected there was going to be another pod on the map, especially around the objective. So that's why I aimed it in the general direction of the gate, both to hit the 2 targets we could see, and also to try and catch any other pods. We were just very lucky that they all happened to be in exactly the right position to get all 3 of them.
Nothing boosts morale like a few dead aliens. We got more than our share today.
Our ranger has finally managed to reach colonel rank, so now she also gets rapid fire. And our specialist has also gotten a promotion. As mentioned last time, Guardian is probably the specialist's best ability. The ability to just continuously take overwatch shots can be very powerful. If you stack them on aim and magazine size, you can get some pretty spectacular results sometimes.
Commander, although I firmly believe the specimen we have recovered is crucial to the aliens' efforts.
New objective added.
Based on what your team witnessed in the field, Commander, it is clear this psionic gateway provides the aliens with some means of far-off travel. It will be up to you to determine not only how it functions, but exactly where this gateway leads.
New objective added.
In order to analyze the alien psionic gateway we recovered, we will need to make the appropriate modifications to the Shadow Chamber first, Commander.
Now we have a few new projects for the Shadow Chamber, but we're only 1 day away from improved beam weapons, so we'll finish this research first and then go to the Shadow Chamber.
The aliens will no doubt have to deal with the loss of this unusual artifact, Commander. I trust you will work to uncover its purpose.
We actually accomplished 2 story objectives in 1 mission there. We began the mission by killing the Avatar, which removes 3 blocks, and then of course the mission itself, to recover the psionic gateway, also removes 2 blocks. So we've really made a huge dent in the Avatar project here. We just need to pass a day while we wait for this research to finish.
Avenger plotting new course.
This will prove to have been an important breakthrough.
We may as well do the instant Chryssalid autopsy.
Even my own intellectual curiosity is not enough to overcome my doubts as to whether or not it was really a wise decision for our troops to bring this particular specimen on board the ship.
This just grants you another type of vest, which we won't be using. We don't really need much intel now. 503 is more than you'll need for most things. So now we'll queue up the Viper autopsy for the improved medikits. And then we'll move straight over to the Shadow Chamber.
Maybe we should start training someone else to pilot the Avenger. I'm never going to get any work done if Mr. Bradford can't keep the ship steady.
Now we have an upgrade for the Shadow Chamber, which is to install the psionic gate. You'll notice that it needs 0 power, and this is because we built it on a power coil originally.
Shadow chamber upgraded.
Now we can do our 2 bits of research. We have to finish the others first before we can do the Avatar autopsy. It's just a waiting game now while we wait for those projects to finish. This is the last of the powered weapon types. The plasma blaster basically fires out a straight line. For most units, this is one of the most awkward weapons because it's very hard to hit multiple targets. It does comparable damage to most of the other heavy weapons, but it's so difficult to get multiple hits because they have to be lined up. The exception to this is Rainmaker on Sparks, which widens the beam to be a 3-tile wide area and makes it much easier to get multiple hits. But it's still finicky to use, whereas the Shredstorm Cannon and Blaster Bomb are very easy. We don't need the supplies, but we'll scan them to pass time and also to maybe get some more scanning sites.
I suppose since that worked, we might as well keep it up, Commander.
There aren't many covert actions we need right now, so we'll start putting our soldiers in for the promotions rather than the actual rewards. We'll just look down the list and see which ones have the shortest durations. It looks like the supply run has the shortest time at 4 days. We'll put our other ranger in, so we then have another ranger with rapid fire. We also need to send an engineer. We'll take the one from the proving ground, because we don't have any projects going currently.
I'll order my people to get underway immediately.
Commander, if we want to set back the aliens' work on the Avatar project, we should hit one of their facilities as soon as possible.
It's time for our monthly guerrilla ops. First up is the Hidden Dark event, which is probably worth going for. The other 2 are relatively minor this month. There's a Colonel rank ranger for the last one, but we're about to get our 3rd Colonel anyway, so we'll go for the Hidden Dark event just in case it's something bad. It's a recover item mission type, which should be pretty straightforward. As you can see for our sitrep, we're only going to be getting Advent troops on this mission, so we only have priests, troopers, heavy mechs, and a sectopod, which are all things we can easily handle now.
Setting course for the Brazilian corridor.